What's up, everybody? How's it going on this beautiful Sunday afternoon? It's no secret now, but I have the Pulse Domains founder, creator, the guy who's doing it in the green room right now. We're going to have a pretty killer conversation. But because he's not Docs, I'm going to pretend that I'm not Docs and you guys don't know what I look like. So it'll be a fun stream to at least listen to. I know you guys probably miss my face and my hat, but that's all right because I got some other streams coming next week for you guys to take a look at. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy this awesome conversation. This Pulse Domains thing, I'm pretty excited about. ENS domains are a pretty big deal on Ethereum. It's great for people like me who produce content online and have like public addresses and stuff like that. Not too long ago, you saw cryptosloth.info, the 15th highest trader on famous.io. Since then, I have been liquidated, but that's okay. It's part of the game, right? All right, guys. Let's see who's in the chat really quickly, and I'll bring the man up. Red Squirrel, Kaiza, as always. Corey, Exhibitionist. What's up, everybody? I see we got some of the Tang Gang in the house, guys. Shout out to the Tang Gang. They've been putting on some awesome content on Twitter lately. Bullish, Gooey, and Tangent been doing Twitter Spaces every day. Super pumped about what's been going on there. Access Alive, what is up, buddy? And let's see, we got I think I saw Too Spooky in here. I'm not sure, but if you're here, yep, there he is. Too Spooky, what's up? All right, guys. Without further ado, I'm gonna bring the man up himself, Mr. Pulse Domains. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Cryptosloth? Doing pretty well. It's a beautiful Sunday here, and I'm really excited to chat with you here. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, man. I've been meaning to have you on for a while since, I know you did a stream with RH Max quite a while ago. And,
Yep.
and I remember you saying like the cutoff to getting your free Pulse domains was like 5K like subscribers or something like that. And I was like, God damn it, I'm not popular enough. I need it. But you were nice enough to give me some anyways. And so I have appreciated you since then, man.
Of course. I mean, like our whole goal, especially with the free claim name, was to reduce any cyber squatting. In other words, once we launch, someone, buying your name and then trying to resell, that wouldn't be a cool thing, especially for us, for the Pulsechain community. So I thought, that's why we created this campaign and all of that stuff. But yeah.
No, I think what you guys are doing, Pulse domains and then Pulse coin list, I think it's amazing additions to the Pulsechain ecosystem. And like I was saying before I brought you up, just having something that's not like a public address that's not just a bunch of letters and numbers,
Yep.
and that's just like a cryptosloth.pls. It just makes it so much easier to interact
Yep.
with people, to advertise with it. But there's also like really cool stuff you can do with these domains, like because they're NFTs and stuff. So first and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time and effort to give us this tech.
Yeah, of course, of course. And yeah, I mean, like, not sure if you ever counted all of the characters, but it's 42 characters for a Pulsechain or or an Ethereum
Hmm.
address, right? With having a domain name attached to that, that can be as little as 3 domain names, right?
Yep.
We've also seen it with the internet. Back in the day, people typed in IP addresses into into the search bar at the top to enter a website. Now we have
Hmm.
domain names, and now also seeing that with ENS, with replacing actual Ethereum domain names, we'll also see that with Pulsechain for us.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I guess get this conversation going a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what you're creating. I'm sure people are already mostly familiar with it, but give like a brief like elevator pitch for it, and
Yeah.
then a little bit on like why you decided to bring this over to Pulsechain.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky enough to be a day one Hexagon and have been with the community since day one. I've mainly just been, behind the scenes, just like listening to all of you guys. So I know all streamers, and have been in the community pretty consistently, right? And then with the announcement of Pulsechain, and seeing all of the various projects, we were thinking, okay, what other projects do we need for Pulsechain to be a success and to
Yep.
essentially have an ecosystem that has all of the tools and all of the platforms that someone that is curious about Pulsechain wants to see, right? ENS and ENS service was totally missing. I think the Pulsechain / Hexagon community needs an identity to identify themselves and to have something to be proud of. So that's why we created Pulse Domains. Pulse Domains is
Hmm.
also a project that we announced once we had a testnet up. So in other
Great.
words, we never collected or we never raised any, never did a sacrifice. All of it is self-funded. The goal really is to bring larger adoption to the ecosystem. And then on Pulse Domains, for anyone that is curious about, so these are Web3 identity NFTs. So that NFT allows you with a couple of features. One, to connect your address to it. So in other
Hmm.
words, people can, instead of using a 42-digit address to send you NFTs or coins or whatever it is, they can essentially just use your domain name. Also, from the UX and UI perspective, now whenever you log into a service on Pulsechain, you basically see your name. In addition to that, we have a list of additional features such as creating subdomains, allowing to host your own IPFS websites, especially for anyone that is a creator. This might be really interesting. Have your own dedicated page that is like a link tree. Yeah, exactly. So if you scroll down, we have a couple examples, and there's also a ton of features hidden in our
Hmm.
documentation page that we haven't really published or advertised. We've been just like the past months. Well, actually, we finished Pulse Domains 2-3 months ago.
Hmm.
Also, the audit and so on. We've been just like waiting for the Fetch Oracle to launch, for
Hmm.
us to finally launch. So this in particular has been just like sitting ready and just waiting for the right timing to launch. So yeah, but if anyone is curious, feel free to play around. You can also, this is on testnet v3. You could essentially buy a domain name, see how it looks, how it feels, what you can do with it. Also, for maybe something interesting for you, CryptoSloth, is you could issue an unlimited amount of subdomains that you can give away for free.
Oh. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So if you have your own community, you could
Hmm.
essentially issue as many subdomains as you want. You can renounce the ownership of your root domain, so it becomes fully decentralized. So everyone within your
Mm.
within your community has now an identity that they can use fully for free. Yeah, without even like needing to trust you, that you could essentially, rug it, for instance, because you could
Hmm.
essentially renounce your ownership or renounce the permission to edit.
Wait, so these subdomains, they're like .pls addresses that are just like associated with like the main one that is created under?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 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 So you have
And
your root.
so, yeah, go
Yep.
ahead.
Yeah, so you have your root domain name, and then underneath you could essentially create as many subdomains as you want, all of them
Hmm.
for free. Well, when I say for free, you have to pay a transaction cost, right?
Yeah.
Which is on Pulsechain, like,
Not a
yeah,
big deal right now. Okay.
exactly.
Wait, so if you don't revoke the permissions on that subdomain, what does that imply? Like what could the owner of the root address do?
Yeah, so one of the things that you could potentially do is you could essentially revoke the subdomain from that user. So
Hmm.
that could be something. So in this case, yeah, they have to trust you.
Okay.
Or yeah, that's pretty much the biggest one.
Gotcha.
They
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so you basically still have the ability to edit the subdomain, or,
Okay.
but by renouncing just that particular feature of not making your root domain editable, all of the subdomains become fully trustless.
Okay, I think I see. So it's like if you want to like, I guess it's like almost like having a receipt kind of, where it's like, oh, this domain is associated with this root domain, just to like have like a proof of like it's part of this whatever sub community or something
Yep.
like that. And then
Yep.
if you revoke it, they're almost practically like their own independent .pls domains, just they're
Exactly.
associated with this other one that created it, right?
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. So, for instance, I see Greg posted like an example. So it will be name.hoa.pls, right? So
Hmm.
whoever gets the hoa.pls
Oh, okay.
is the
So that's
top level domain name, and then can issue 1,000 subdomains or more,
oh,
and
that's actually
give them out for free or sell them if
yeah.
they want to. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. And I mean, that's a decent way, like just off the top of my head for my purposes. Like, I have my Telegram community and stuff, and like I could assign like
Yep.
one dot cryptosloth.pls or whatever it is. And then now I have like a list of everybody who's joined and an easy way to airdrop them because I have these NFTs that are
Exactly.
associated with my thing in there, stuff like
Yep.
that. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's pretty cool. Well, since we talked about Fetch Oracle, Naz had a good question, and he says like, why does Postal need domain need a price oracle?
Yeah, good question. So we don't fully rely on a price oracle. It's so for instance, all of our domain names do cost something. So if you want to buy a domain name, it starts at $5. So 5 digits cost $5, 4 digits cost 169, and then 3 digit
Hmm.
domain names, which are the most exclusive ones, cost 555.
Gotcha.
So just for that part, for converting, because all of the prices are in PLS, so that needs a price oracle pretty much. We could just use the Pulse X price feed, which we've done.
Hmm.
We've also relaunched and reconfigured the Teller oracle to essentially make that usable, which is okay, but not highly recommended. Um, or we just wait, have a native oracle on Pulse Chain launching, and then launch with that. It just makes long term way more sense. No need to make any adjustments in the future, and it is just like built right from the start. And I think that's like the right way to go. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sick, man. So, yeah, because the ENS stuff, I've mostly only used it for like just labeling my account, but
Hmm.
labeling like my public wallet and just like securing my personal name. I really wanted. I know you can only do three digits in there, three characters,
Hmm.
but I really love. I really wanted just like qt.pls. I don't know, like whenever I can get like digital real estate with names and stuff, like because of
Hmm.
my RuneScape days, I know exactly how popular those things can be, like people selling RuneScape names for like thousands of dollars because they're like 2 letters, 3 letters, or whatever it
Yep.
is. So whenever I see something like this, it gets me all like my 8-year-old self all excited all over again. And my favorite one was always just the letters like QT, but it's not. I can't get 2 letters.
Yeah, so we have the ability to make updates and changes to the name wrapper. Maybe in the future we'll allow two letter domain names, but for now we just want to make sure we have all the entire feature set fully audited and ready to launch. And then in the future, any updates and any updates the ENS team does to their name wrapper or to their system, we can essentially adopt them as well, right? So they are currently having some discussions of selling 2-digit or even 1-digit domain names. Maybe it's
Nice.
something that we adopt. Once they
Hmm.
test it out, we're happy to adopt that. So yeah,
That makes
soon
sense. And so
maybe.
can people go ahead and claim any domains right now?
Yeah, so the official domain name claim has ended. However,
Hmm.
if you are known in the Pulsechain, and again, this is I don't want to uh, talk down in any way, but if you are very vocal on
Hmm.
Twitter and you have a name that many people know, and there is a chance that someone can essentially on day one mint your name and try to resell it. So in other words, there's like a risk of your name being squatted or cyber
Hmm.
squatted. Feel free to DM us. I'm pretty sure we'll find something to resolve. But if you are someone that is just in the background, and has, Pulsechain 558385 as a domain
Hmm.
name, the chance are pretty low that that name will be minted on day one.
Yeah.
Are pretty low. So in this case, so in this case, it will be a no. But if you someone that is visible, on YouTube, on Telegram. So all of the RH Telegram admins, they got their domain name. Any YouTuber that is doing any content, they got their domain name. Obviously, because you guys are all visible, and
Hmm.
I think part of the fair launch is to ensure that you guys don't get squatted, because it would suck, for any content creator to like needing to rebuy their
Hmm.
domain name from a cyber squatter. We all
No,
got
that's
squatted. Me too. On
yeah.
various domain names. So I'd
Yeah.
like to avoid that.
No, I think that's awesome, and I think I remember hearing on a previous live stream you did, like you reserved all like the Richard Hart, Pulse Chain, like
Yeah,
all of that stuff is blocked out, so people can't scam with it, basically.
yeah, exactly. So part of it, we have a whitelist. Well, it's not a whitelist, but it's kind of like we took Pulse Chain, Pulse X, Richard Hart, and any permutations. We pretty much minted them all, or will be also minting them on mainnet. Uh, get them for 100 years. And whenever Richard Hart wants them, we're happy to send them to him. But those will be essentially put aside just to ensure that no one can essentially scam. We cannot fully reduce that or like put it to zero. There will be always
Hmm.
ways for people to kind of like do something. But with that, at least, any RH projects and him
Hmm.
individually are not part of that. Yeah.
That makes sense. And everybody in the chat, I dropped Pulse Domains Twitter. So I know some people in the chat, like Too Spooky, are wanting to see if they're able to get their thing reserved. So I think just send you a DM on Twitter, correct?
Yep.
The official
Exactly.
video.
Just DM us on Twitter. Our DMs are open. So yeah, just DM us.
Yeah.
Also in Telegram if Twitter doesn't work for some reason. So yeah.
Perfect. And what was I going to say with that? And if you guys wanted to reserve your own special one, and you may not have a social media presence to warrant preventing people from doing digital squatting, we're going to be giving away two of them today. We're going to be giving away two .pls domains.
Yep.
You are able to pick which ones that you want, and you just have to reach out to Pulse Domains, and they'll get you picked out. But we're gonna doing two giveaways. So all you have to do to enter, and I'm going to put it in the chat right now. It's .pls. That's going to be the first one. So go ahead and put .pls into the chat. And if you do that, probably in a couple minutes, we'll do maybe halfway through, we'll do a giveaway, and then we'll do one giveaway at the very end. How does that sound?
Awesome. Yeah. Let's do it. I also know Bullish has done a couple of initiatives and giveaways, especially with the Post Chain tour. And again, right, we want to make sure that people get the chance to win one before we launch and bring utility to it. So yeah.
Perfect, man.
Mm.
Well, before we move on to Pulse Coin List, because I want to talk about that too, just tell me like what's something that you can do with these .pls domains that you're most excited about personally.
Yeah, I think the biggest, well, let's put it this way, right? We have a backlog of features that are just like ready in the shelf to go, right? So one, well, the biggest feature that is visible for everyone is, hey, my address now has a name. Cool. And actually, hey, it actually has a fancy name. And to be honest, looking at ENS, that's the biggest flex. That's something that
Yeah.
most people use it for, right? I can
Hmm.
talk about IPFS hosting, about how you could essentially fully host a website that is connected to your domain name, that is cannot be penetrated and all of that. But people will not get excited about that. Right? It's like, hey, I have 369.pls. People get excited about that stuff, right? So aside from the flex value, one thing that I find really really cool, and I think you might appreciate as well, is to have your own kind of like profiles in a link, right? And I'll share a link where you could
Hmm.
essentially see that. Um, Here we go. I'll just post it. Oh, I need to connect. I'll just put, if you don't mind
Yeah.
posting it.
Yeah. Put it in the
Um,
private chat here. Yeah. There we go.
yeah. So this will allow you to have your own pretty much decentralized
Oh,
link tree,
I
right?
remember this. Yeah.
So in this case, you could essentially, if a content creator and so on, you could essentially have all of your links there. You could we also included a fed send tip button, right? Just to show you, just if people want to support you, they essentially have the option to support you, right? And we want to make sure, because Hex and then Pulsechain, there were so many, like the majority of streamers, well, all streamers worked for free or created just purely out of
Hmm.
passion, right? Which is awesome. But also, we want to make sure that, if I find you awesome, I want to have an easy way to support you. So that, and then also we'll have your entire NFT collection. If you scroll down, displayed, and this particular feature will become available on mainnet. But in this case, you could essentially have your public front facing profile that in that case follows the same nomenclature as your PNS domain name.
No, I think this is a really cool service for the user. Like you said, it's like your own decentralized link tree, basically
Yep.
associated with your public wallet. You got all of your links here, easy send tips, decentralized. Show off your NFTs, which is pretty dope. I know the Tang Gang is absolutely going to love that with all the NFT airdrops they've been getting lately. So this is actually super cool, and I'm sure. Is there like ways, like say you have a website like me, like cryptosloth.info, you could throw it up on here as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. You could create whatever records, right? And
Hmm.
and and we have the ability to, on the front end, to create as many records as you want, right? We could pretty much have 500 link outs that you want, right? So if you go to Pulse.domains into the editor, you basically see what you can do. You could essentially add additional links. You could add your website to it, your IPFS website, which in this case connects it
Hmm.
automatically. So yeah.
No, I think this is really cool stuff. Not necessarily on like the super mechanistic, complicated DeFi thing, but a really great DeFi tool for like community building and like
Mhm.
building a social presence while doing it like on top of Pulse Chain.
Yep.
With and all the like, obviously the lower gas fees are just going to make it that much more usable for everybody, because something like this may not be as feasible on Ethereum. Like if you want to send a tip and you have to pay $5 to send the tip, like you
Yep.
know the tip could be like $1, and so who's going to pay $6 to send $1?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you,
Yep.
you could essentially tip 100 PLS, in like 2 seconds. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Here's a question from Naz. He said, "Why did you choose to go with the ENS model and not the UD style of outright ownership of each domain?" I'm not
Re-
personally familiar with that style, so maybe you could give me some info on that too.
Yeah, a really good question. I get that question quite a lot. I'm also close with the UD team. I totally respect that, awesome people and so on. However, if you think about a model, an economic as well as a revenue model, as well as an adoption model, for domain names or naming generally, a yearly model makes so much more sense than purchasing a name once and having it forever. So a couple reasons. One, if you have an annual renewal, this allows, if you know, a cyber squatter and have 100 domain names, this allows you to essentially not renew some of the domain names, allowing new individuals to come back in. So which is kind of like the biggest one. Two, if you lose your keys, all of the
Mm-hmm.
domain names are gone forever, right? So this means like those names are gone and no one can essentially take them back, or essentially, yeah, purchase them again, right? The UD model is like that with unstoppable domain names. You buy a domain name for $2, $3, $4, $5,000 depending on the name, and you own it forever.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it comes to adoption, if you look at the adoption of unstoppable domain names, or the adoption of ENS names with their renewal model, you actually have more and more newer people coming in, because you have one, a lower price. Two, you have more people, either not renewing or reselling them at lower prices. So you bring in new individuals into that ecosystem, which
Mm-hmm.
generally is really, really good for growth. If I buy, 5 domain names for, 5K each, let me try to resell them for 10K, right? Each. That's not gonna. That's
Mm-hmm.
not many people are not gonna buy it. But if I buy, 100 domain names for $5 and resell them for $6, $7, $8, it's actually really, really good, because it allows other people to snag a cool domain name for a low cost price, and if they don't use it, allows new people to essentially claim that name or buy that name, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it has several really strong reasons to go with that model. Also, if we
Mm-hmm.
look at the domain name space, like the regular domain name space, it's also annual renewals, which makes a lot of sense in that case as well. Has been
Mm-hmm.
proven, has been around forever, makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So it sounds like a lot of it surrounds like security with cyber squatting, and then like if people lose their address, at least there's some option to regain those domains again, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like a good idea. Man, Naz is doing my job for me, coming up with all the questions for the interview. He
Oh,
asked,
nice, nice. Thank you.
"Will post domains be compatible with files that you sign in with Ethereum?"
Yeah, so one of the big benefits is, and I want to really drive this point home, right? A lot of projects and platforms you see on Pulsechain are, forks on that were done from other protocols on Ethereum. So we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and
Mm-hmm.
with unstoppable domains, that's no different. In addition to that, we know ENS's roadmap, and we know, I mean, we see their community building, and we see also the features that they're built that actually get traction and not. So our long-term vision is to,
Mm-hmm.
any cool changes they're making, be it in this case sign on with Ethereum, or sign on with ENS, or sign in with PNS. That seems like a really, really good feature, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll be very inclined to adopt that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the very end, it's all about adoption and utility. And
Mm-hmm.
if we see cool use cases, of course we're gonna do that. It's
No,
yeah.
that sounds awesome. And having something like that where you have to have the specific domain name to, I don't know, say it's like a gated site where it's like you have to have the subdomain of the root domain
Yeah.
in order to be able to get access into something. For like a content creator like myself, that's like incredibly useful.
Mhm. Yep, exactly.
Hmm.
And also, I think in the future, instead of signing in with Gmail or with,
Hmm.
your Apple ID, you will be able to sign in with ENS, and be able also to, in the future, sign in with PNS, with your .pls names, right? Again,
Yeah.
this is future, not a promise, none of that. Don't expect
Hmm.
any work from me, but but it seems like a really, really cool feature that we will be eager to look into.
Yeah. Well, if we speculate, that Pulse Chain will gain, significant market share within the greater crypto space as a whole, especially as things become more interoperable and things and movement across chains, transaction across chains becomes more seamless. You're collecting that domain market share right now, so that as things grow, if they do grow, the things that you're building will probably be the things that get plugged in to all those decentralized infrastructure that will be built in the future, and all the people who will be coming in utilizing this stuff later.
Yeah, so there are some protocols that allow domain name providers to plug in into hundreds of apps automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So we will our first priority is to ensure that we are compatible with everything on Pulsechain,
Mm-hmm.
and then potentially go beyond that. Be it
Nice.
different, be it going into Web 2, allowing to do that, or stay within Web 3, but outside of Pulsechain. So yeah, so we're very flexible. At the very end, it really boils down is like, is this a cool feature that provides net value to the end user and also growth to the PNS system? If that's a yes, let's go.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, we've hit the half-hour mark, so let's do our first giveaway. What do you say?
All right.
All
Yes,
right.
let's do it.
All right, guys, go ahead and type in .pls. If you haven't already, it has to be capital. It has to be capital. So if you've done a lowercase one, just make sure it's all capital. We got 32 entries so far, so I'll give you another, 10 seconds or so. And what you're entering for is your own personal .pls domain. So you'll get to choose which one you want, and Post Domains, they'll reserve it for you. All you have to do is go in the description below. I have a link to his the Twitter, the official Twitter, and you'll just send a DM from the account that you're using here. So if your account's different, just we'll be able to figure that out. But
yeah,
if your account's go ahead.
Let me make one comment. Someone wrote out penis. Please update to get it free. Yeah, believe me, the amount of jokes I heard about that is awesome. So yeah, Fast Abdul, feel free to do the
Yeah.
p.pls so you get one.
Fast Abdul doesn't want a .pls domain. He's just waiting for monkey pictures. I think that's all. That's all
Here
it
we
is.
go.
How big could PNS be? How big could PNS be? Couple inches, sir. Couple inches.
Yeah, exactly. Depends on your personality. Here we go.
It depends on your person. All right, guys. We got 42 entries. Let's do the first one.
Drum roll.
What if I won?
Drum roll.
That'd be so cool. Hey,
Yay.
Quigley. Oh, wait. I know this guy. I've met this guy before. What's up, Quigley? How you doing, buddy? Congratulations on the win, man. So
congrats. Yeah, just DM us, with your Twitter, or on Twitter or Telegram, and then also the domain name that you want. Seems like Quigley makes a lot of sense, and then also an address that you want your domain delivered to. One thing here, and we also made that very, very clear during the naming. During the name claim period or the free domain name period, you can use a net new wallet address for us to send your domain name there. We will also send you some PLS tokens as well for you to configure. So this essentially, so also to use, I'm not sure if you heard that, but you claimed a domain name. We will also send you some PLS tokens to it, so you practice wallet hygiene. You're not interfering with any other wallet, so we want to make sure that you know that quickly. Perfect. Congrats again.
Congrats, quickly. All right, guys. So we're gonna go for at least 30 more minutes. We're gonna shift over to Pulse CoinList now. Yep. And while we wait for that, let me go ahead and give you the next phrase. So this one's a little shout out to the Tang Gang, but it's gonna be hashtag Tang Gang. That's what it is. So go ahead and blow that up. I'll type it in here so you can copy and paste it. All right. So that's what it is, guys. Go ahead and throw that in, and we're gonna start collecting entries now. Okay.
And then one thing on the giveaway stuff. Bullish is also organizing it, or has organized a couple of giveaways in the past. He will be also organizing some in the future, so feel free to give a follow to Bullish on Twitter to essentially see or qualify and then also get some additional .pls names for free. Thank you again,
Perfect.
Bullish.
Yes. Hey, shout out to Bullish for all the hard work he's doing in the
Yep.
background. All right, man. Well, tell us about Pulse Coin List. What is
All
it?
right. Yes. So we got done with Pulse domains pretty quickly. I mean, we launched Pulse domain names on V2 on testnet, V3 on testnet, V4 on testnet. So we were just like, eagerly, building out features around that. And then we ran out of things to do. And we're like, hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool to create like a ranking site just for our community? Which was, well, actually, the main goal was like, hey, it would be cool for adoption to have a page where people can plug in their address and they see all of their tokens that they received as a copy when Pulsechain launched, right? So that was the whole idea behind that feature, was to bring in individuals outside of the Pulsechain ecosystem to the Pulsechain ecosystem by telling them, hey, this is an easy way to see your token balances or your copy tokens on Pulsechain that you can dump for free, pretty much, or dump and get some money out of it. So Pulse Coin List launched with that feature, and then we're like, okay, it makes sense to have like a coin ranking site, I guess, because that's an easy feature to build. So we built that out. The first version of the site was ugly, but people liked it. People loved it, and the goal was never really to continue building it. It was just like, hey, we this site might be cool for the first 1, 2, 3 months of the Pulsechain launch, and after that, that's pretty much it. But then people liked it, and people asked us for additional features, and people wanted this, and people wanted dark mode, and people wanted various different analytics and stats on top of it. And we're like, okay, I guess we're waiting for fetch, and I guess we have some time, so let's double down. So what we, yeah, so it kind of like it kind of like expanded into something more. So now on and I can share the screen if you guys want.
Yep, go ahead and share. I'll pull it up for you. Pulsecoinlist.com, correct?
Yes. Let me see.
If not, I also have it up, but if you want to drive.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, either way works.
Yeah, I'll let you drive since you're talking about it.
Perfect. Awesome. So this is Pulse Coin List. So this is our own coin ranking site that is that is not biased, because we show all of the data and allow users at the very end to filter out what they like and don't like. So to put it simply, we currently have 17,189 tokens on Pulsechain that are tradable, or at least are having a cent in their LP. In addition to that, we have the top gainers, top losers. So you guys know how a coin ranking site works. But then we have this thing here, which is an ERC PRC 20 comparison. So it kind of like shows you the price on Ethereum and the price on Pulsechain. And that feature also was really, really cool in the early stages when Pulsechain launched, especially for people to arbitrage their prices. And then we expanded it to a couple additional things, right? So it kind of like started with the token ranking and the ERC PRC 20 comparison, as well as a balance checker. So you could essentially plug in your address here, and it shows you all of the tokens within your wallet that you have. That was kind of like the first version. And then based on users, we expanded it to essentially have multi-charts for anyone that wants to see all of the RH charts, in one place on the bigger screen. So that was like a feature. And then we expanded it to stats. So we actually have on testnet. So if you guys follow us on Twitter, we actually have a couple of screenshots with additional metrics. So in other words, the Pulsechain issuance, as well as the burn rate, as well as the annual inflation or deflation, in this case, of tokens that we are displaying it. Would like to show it, but since you guys can see my URL, just follow us on Twitter. So in this case, you can essentially check it out. And then also an easy way for people to buy their PLS tokens, right? Here basically we're listing out all of the outlets that allow you to buy Pulsechain tokens. And again, this whole thing now morphed into, hey, if someone says, what is Pulsechain? We want to
Hmm.
give them visibility of what's happening on Pulsechain when it comes to the tokens, so people can see, hey, there's a market. Hey, there are tokens trading on Pulsechain. Hey, there are projects on it. And then with with the ecosystem, we want to bring more visibility to all tokens and to all projects on Pulsechain, right? So if you think about like, yeah, I've heard about Pulsechain, but what's on there? And
Hmm.
we want to make sure that once people learn about Pulsechain, that they actually have the ability to explore and play around with various tools and various platforms on Pulsechain. So the whole main goal of Pulse Coin List now is bring visibility to Pulsechain to new users that are net new to crypto, or individuals from other chains looking into Pulsechain and just don't know what's happening here, right? We
Hmm.
want to make sure it's like, hey, I think one of the things that we are also working on is like a dynamic Pulsechain ecosystem map
Oh, that's awesome.
that that if you click in, it allows you to kind of like not only have a nice pretty picture, but then also like click into a project or a token and basically get more information on all of that, right?
Hmm.
So we want for people to see Pulsechain, to explore Pulsechain, various projects. Obviously, we try to be as unbiased as possible. We try to filter out scams
Hmm.
or projects that haven't launched yet. But also at the same time, we allow anyone to submit their project just by going to where is it? Here we go. Submitting their using that big button here. So yeah, the whole point of this is bring more projects onto here and then allow people to discover Pulsechain in an easy manner, in a manner that looks cool, easy to understand, and so on. So yeah.
No, that's
Go
an
for
incredible site, dude. It looks clean, amazing features. Like I think this will be a incredible like homepage if you want to, whenever you open up your browser, if you're a a complete crypto degen, and that's the first thing you want to see every time you open up a new tab.
Yeah, the thing is also with Web3, right? It's like you want to have a cool experience, a cool
Yep.
UI, clean UI, right? I mean, if I'm new to Pulsechain or to any chain, and I'm like, okay, what's on there? And I go
Hmm.
to some site that is like somewhat crappy. For some people, they don't mind. They're like, hey, it's about the tech. Is this a cool protocol or not? But for
Hmm.
many, it actually does matter. The experience and how it's being displayed and how it feels, on the
Yep.
site. And so the presentation plays a big role. And yeah, that was kind of like the aim with Pulse Coin List. Yeah.
Hmm. No, that's awesome, and you're absolutely right. At the very least, it just shows that like, hey, somebody cares enough to give a good presentation for the blockchain in a user friendly format, and I know a lot of people really appreciate it. I think without stuff like this, it kind of shows some level of inactivity, and this site's really good to point people to because I know a lot of people like have a criticism of Pulse Chain where it's just like it's a busted chain and no one's really building on it. Well, you can pull them up to this site and show them, that really cool page that updated with all the different categories of what projects are
Yep.
have launched and what are going to launch. And
Yep.
I mean, it just automatically shows that like, yeah, stuff is happening over here.
Yep. And again, this map is not done whatsoever, right? So
Hmm.
this is just still in work in progress. We still need to list so many different things, meme tokens, gaming tokens, projects, on and off ramps.
Hmm.
Also, one thing that is really important, and I think gets neglected quite a bit, is kind of like developer tools.
Hmm.
So when it comes to any other builders from different chains, we want to make it as easy as possible for them to get the right resources on how to get started on Pulsechain. I
Hmm.
know many people don't really see that, but as a builder, trying to build on Pulsechain, you don't have all of the resources right available to you. You kind of have to go and join a couple groups, then you
Yep.
have to like be on Twitter and so on. You know, it's compared to other chains, the onboarding of developers is something that we can strengthen and improve on
Hmm.
Pulsechain. It's an
No,
opportunity.
well, that's great because there are a lot of really strong developers. I mean, just Tanto and Alex, just to name a couple off the top of my
Yep.
head. I'm pretty sure Alex is. And don't quote me on this in the future, but building some like an Infura I don't want to say fork, but inferior replica for Pulsechain. So
Yep.
that'd be something that would fall in that category, you know?
Yep. And we want to have it displayed with the documentation. So
Hmm.
people, so a developer, comes in and he's like, okay, I can use this API. I can use this. I can use this. Everything is available. I have
Yep.
documentation and so on. And the documentation has been, uh, um, the documentation for developers on Pulsechain has been okay. Definitely some room for improvement there. So,
Yep.
and,
For sure.
something that we would like to push as well.
Well, real quick, and then I'll make my comment. Ted DeFi with a 9.99 super chat. I appreciate you, buddy. Says, you know what they say? You go out there and you give 110% and 6 oranges. Thank you, buddy. You're absolutely right, and I think Pulse Domains is doing that. Doing it and doing it very well for everybody. But what was I gonna say? What was I saying? Well, for like a decentralized, basically social network, that's what Pulsechain is in a lot of ways. It can be hard to find all of the resources, right? Like you got
Hmm.
to be in all the Telegram chats. So, you have to follow the right people on Twitter. You got to make sure you bookmark all the sites to make sure that you're not going to scam ones when you're like, oh wait, what was that one NFT platform that I wanted to
Yep.
do my stuff on? So having it all in one place is a huge upgrade to like the user experience of the blockchain as a whole, man.
Yep. And one thing, because you mentioned NFT marketplace, some news that we just got today. So Mintra just released their V2 version, I think yesterday or so. So now you essentially can have a glimpse of how your domain names look like on Mintra.
Nice. Hmm.
So essentially, you could essentially list them. Obviously, so you can update images and any other information to it. So yeah, feel free to play around with it. This is something I just saw this morning, so it's really really cool. So we have some, some. Oh, here we go, tangent. And so we have, yeah. So these are pretty much all of the domain names that are that were minted.
Hmm.
So yeah, for people to play around. So obviously this is testnet, but
Yeah.
I love seeing this. It's cool.
Hmm. Gotcha. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to mainnet for the domain names, and I'm definitely going to be using the Pulse coin list a lot more
Thank you. And
going
then
forward in the future.
no, really appreciate it. And also, I don't have it here, I believe, because I have. Let me trust this site. Here we go. But we have a feedback button. Oh, here we go. Feel free to share any feedback that you guys want. I mean, obviously, this is for us. This
Hmm.
is for us to use to play around. If there are any features that you would like to see, please, just message us. Right. One thing that many people don't know, it's like, yeah, you have the contract address for each individual token, add to MetaMask,
Hmm.
Unix Explorer, and so on. But any other features that you guys want to see, something that many people didn't know, we actually have charts. It's as simple as that. What I mean? It's like
It's a one-stop shop, baby.
feel free to share, feedback, be critical, tell us we suck because we don't have this and that, and we're more than happy to include that.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then on the stats page, there's something really exciting coming, I think, because most people are familiar with the Pulse X buy and burn, but
Hmm.
most people don't know that Pulse Chain overall can be inflationary and also deflationary depending on usage, right?
Hmm.
So most people forgot that. We are a fork of ETH 2.0,
Yep.
and there are some metrics that you essentially can see on what's the inflation rate of Pulse Chain at a given time.
Hmm.
Is it inflating or deflating right now? So yeah,
That's a
so
great stat.
that's definitely something. We currently have it in testing. We're just polishing it up, and we'll be releasing in the next couple of days. But
Hmm.
yeah, feel free to check out the Twitter because we have some screenshots that we shared there.
Hell yeah, yeah. Definitely go check out the Twitter. I dropped it below. I'm gonna drop it one more time in the chat. Make sure you follow the official Twitters to get all the official updates, official links, everything like that. And then bookmark this page, guys. All right. Before we move on, I just wanted a quick reminder. Hashtag Tangang.
Yep.
That is the hashtag for the second giveaway. DJ and Doug, he's got it. This time it's all lowercase, not all capital. So changing up. Ted D5, go ahead and change that up. It's all lowercase. So make sure that you got that. And in about 10 minutes ish, we're going to be doing the last one to round out the stream.
Nice.
Well, man, Pulse Domains. I think you've built two incredible tools that have a lot of utility for the Pulsechain user, retail users like myself and everybody else. So first, I appreciate that, but also, why have you decided to put this much effort and time into building on Pulsechain versus say some other L1?
Yeah. So one, I've been with the Hex community since day one. I'm heavily rooting for Hex and Pulsechain. I want this to succeed. I love building stuff, in Web 2 and also Web 3. And why not put those things together, So with Pulse Domains, that kind of like started not as, um a way to launch something just for the sake of or any monetary reason. It's like, no, I want Pulsechain to succeed. I want all of our backs to pump hard,
Yeah.
And one way to do that is to make it more visible, to bring more utility to it and tools and so on. And I know Richard Hart said, well, we don't need any apps, any applications on Pulsechain that will succeed. But it's like, yeah, but the optics and the users and so on makes a big role. So that's kind of like the motivation. And then with Pulse Coin List, obviously that's like highly visibility to Pulsechain, right? So that's kind of like the main goal there. So yeah, that's the motivation, and we're here for the long run. Right now it's a super boring season right now, some fighting, whatever it is, and for us, we'll just keep building and continue to do so, and as well as many other builders that are in the background. They're just building. It's a boring time, and a good time to be a builder and build something.
100%. Yeah, man. I mean, this is something that I've been saying lately, but the real kind of, I guess, X factor that Pulsechain has isn't necessarily the tech behind the blockchain or even the mechanisms behind Hex, Pulse, PulseX Inc. or anything like that. But it's a fervent community that's willing to build on this stuff without any kind of real expectations or real assurance of I don't know what the best way to describe it is, but of like profits or of
Yeah.
future additions from Richard himself. It's a sandbox for a
Yeah.
community that has mostly been kind of set to the side in the greater crypto space, and allowing us to use our talents on a blockchain that's affordable to show exactly to showcase the talent, passion, and intelligence that Hex has built through, or that Richard Hart has built through Hex. And so now we have our own place to express everything that we want to, in a place that we're not going to be censored, basically.
Yeah, and also to put it in similar terms, it's like we are Pulsechain, the
Yep.
users, the builders, and it's like we're creating our own success. Obviously, Richard gave us the gift of having an awesome platform, and now it's like for us to continue with it and carry it, through the finish line, through the trillion
Right.
eggs.
Well, I mean, it's going to be stuff like what you're building is that's going to help Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX, and Inc.
Yep.
Make it in the next bull market. I think
Yep.
without stuff like this, the argument that Pulsechain is a ghost chain would be
Yep.
much more valid. If all we did was trade on PulseX the same 5 coins.
Yeah, I mean, such a good point. I mean, like, just if you the other day I looked again into ETHW and ETH Fair, right?
Hmm.
Website shit. The tools are like, in an Airtable. It's all like disjointed in a way, and it's
Yep.
like from an optics perspective, you're like, okay, it's dead. You,
Yep.
you, you know, and that's something we don't want to be. We want
No.
to be clean, nice. Gigantic ecosystem, a lot of activity. Please come join us and pump our bags.
Yep.
JK.
Well, JK, but also at the same time, it's very true. The price appreciation that comes as a
Yeah.
result of the building, as a result of, or yeah, as a result of the building, can't be understated, because it's the validity that you need to present yourself to the greater crypto space that don't maybe accept the value proposition or have negative connotations of the community, or just flat out ignore it. That those green candles are the marketing, and then you get that marketing and say like, hey, like, we're pumping, and people are like, whoa, what's going on? And then you pull up something like Pulse Coin List, like, hey, here's everything that's going on, and here's how you can look into it with one click, whatever is interesting to you.
Exactly. And buy it with one click, right? And
Yep.
and buy, if you knew what are the best outlets to buy Pulsechain. If you want to, buy a specific token, it's super easy. you press a button, it's automatically added to
Yep.
PulseX or any other platform without you needing to copy contract addresses back and forth, so like the small things that most people like, or that people that are more advanced, they're like, oh yeah, I just
Hmm.
take the contract address, put it in there. It's like, yeah, but for many others, they're like, holy shit, I want to buy this token, but how do I do that? It
Yep.
doesn't show up on search on PulseX or any other platform, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, we want to kind of like streamline that process from one person hearing about it to one person being able to buy and trade it.
No, that's really important. It's something that, I think all of us who spend a lot of time in crypto take for granted how much it takes, how much
Yes.
knowledge it takes to just to onboard into something, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
had a friend whose mother wanted to buy like one Bitcoin. They were like, I
Hmm.
want to buy a Bitcoin. I want to self custody it, which was great that they knew that off the bat. And they were, because they know like I do a lot of crypto stuff. My friend's mom asked me like, "Hey, how do I do this?" And I was like writing all the steps of just the basic like buy on Coinbase and like send it to a treasure. I'm like, "Holy shit! Like this is like a ton of stuff that like I gotta backtrack and like make sure I'm explaining each step individually why you're doing it because security is important too." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, this is actually really complicated, and this is just to buy Bitcoin, not even to get onto EVM, all EVM L1s."
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I have in my notes, like a long text with YouTube videos and so
Yeah.
on that I send every onboard, right? And it's like, oh yeah, no problem. It's just like a 38-step process.
Yeah.
It's like, make
38
sure to
step pro.
not, yeah, and make sure not to screw up this
Yeah.
thing. It's really important, and people just get scared, right? Especially for
Hmm.
for newcomers. Yeah.
It's a 38 step process to lose 90% of your money,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man, dude, that's awesome. Well, look, here's a question before we get into the giveaway. Obviously, the stuff that you're building is really exciting, and I'm really excited about it. But outside of the things that you're personally doing, what is most exciting you that's being built on Pulse Chain right now?
Um, Most exciting thing.
Yeah, for you personally.
For me personally, mm, this might be a boring answer,
Hmm.
um, but I like all of the smaller services. For instance, it's
Hmm.
verifypls.com that verifies your contract address, like small little things that most people don't pay attention to. But all of the smaller sites that take like specific feature sets that work on other chains and bringing them to Pulse Chain, right?
Hmm.
All of the small things, because they will essentially, um, for new users, like a trust score, or has this particular address renounced their ownership, yes or no.
Hmm.
um, Before that, we didn't have that, and I think those are small things that are really really critical, and I'm really excited that people are out there and building them. So that's kind of like something I'm really excited about. And then also about the NFT marketplaces, right? It's like,
Hmm.
one, we have NFTs, right? So Pulse domains, like the .pls names, they're actually NFTs.
Yep.
You'll get that dropped into your wallet, and you can transfer it out, sell it, do whatever it is. And one thing I'm excited about is the NFT marketplaces, and also having, and I see a lot of people starting to have that conversation, to have a conversation around NFTs on Pulse Chain.
Hmm.
Um, which ultimately means like, hey guys, we have NFTs here too, and it's easy to trade, and they have cool features and so on, right? So yeah, that's something I'm really excited about. I'm
Hmm.
personally not the biggest trader. I don't do a lot of trading or any of that. But I'm happy that there are individuals out there who provide the tools and the platforms that allow you to do that, right? Be it leverage trading.
Hmm.
One other thing that I'm really excited about is a DEX aggregator, which we
Yeah.
now have, which is awesome, right? So it's like, they're not fancy tools or anything, but they're really, really useful, and
Hmm.
really, really useful for people that are just learning about Pulse Chain. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, everything you're talking about is like the base infrastructure. It may not be
Yeah.
flashy or sexy, but like when it comes to like, hey, something new's coming out. Let's say like 2 years down the line, something new's coming out. You're excited about it. You have your good crypto hygiene. You're security conscious. Well, having the sites that can verify contract addresses,
Yep.
making sure you're doing everything correctly, it's gonna make sure that the user experience is seamless and safe. Because if it's not, like, people just start getting scammed over and over and over, because
Yep.
these, what's the quality of life tools aren't available. It makes
Yep.
it, discouraging to continue to participate, because you
Yep.
feel like you're not playing a fair game.
Yep. Yeah, the thing is, we need to be in par or beyond or with feature sets and platforms
Yep.
that we have and beyond when compared to other blockchains and other
Hmm.
platforms, right? And in many instances, it's like, you know, 20, 30, 40 smaller tools that all make that happen, right? Be it
Yep.
in this case from, Alex working on on Infura copy, most people don't care, but for many projects and for many users, that might be a really cool tool. It's one out of many, many things that just like elevates the entire experience of Pulsechain. Not flashy
Absolutely.
at all, doesn't look fancy, even like oracles. How fancy are oracles? The most boring
Hmm.
thing, but super, super critical, right? It's
Yep.
like, especially for anyone doing trading or anything, we do need fast oracles,
Yep.
so yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. Well, all right, we hit the hour mark. What do you say we give another domain away?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Hashtag Tangang. That is the hashtag. I'm gonna copy it in the chat one more time. Spam it up, guys, if you want to win your free .pls domain. We're gonna give you another 10 to 20 seconds, and then we are going to have another lucky winner. We'll see if Quigley wins again. He gets two in one go.
Nice.
He says good luck, everybody. Oh, also really quickly, while people are getting their entries in, he said he's not verified, so he can't reach out. So how
Yeah,
could Quigley reach out to you,
yeah,
to make sure he can claim his
just
reward?
tweet at us or join our Telegram. Happy to post the Telegram link. Either way is totally fine. Let
Hmm.
me pick that up here. Um, Here we go. I'll just send you a private chat. Here we go.
Hmm. Okay, copy that. So this is the official Telegram, correct?
Yes, that's the official
Okay.
one. Yep.
So there you go. Quickly, go to this link, and then you're able to shoot him a DM.
Exactly.
Um, And then we'll do one more question before we roll the dice. Goldkey had a question a little bit ago. He said, will the .pls domain show on the Pulsechain Block Explorer similar to how ENS does on Etherscan?
The answer is this seems like it would make a lot of sense, something we looked into and looking into. And yeah, so obviously the scan.pulsechain.com is run by the Pulsechain team.
Hmm.
We talked about this and we're really eager to incorporate it into their block explorer as well as any other block explorers. So to put it simply, we want the same and more feature sets that you see on Ethereum with Pulse domains. So yes, yeah.
Perfect.
And then also Gold Key. Not sure if you guys claim, but you can also claim, especially since you guys are pretty active builders in the community. There might be
Hmm.
a chance you guys get cyber squatted. So feel free to DM us.
Hmm. They're going to need to
Um,
claim like 10 domains with all the tickers they have.
yeah. Also, if you're a project founder, you currently have a project, please DM us as well, so that your project name does not get squatted. So you will get essentially
Hmm.
that domain name as for free as well. Yeah.
Perfect. All
Mhm.
right, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Ooh, who's it gonna
Hmm.
be?
Who's it going to be? Maybe it'll be me. Oh, Wookiee Jedi PLS crab. Look at
Or
that. The
nice.
perfect face. The
Yep.
perfect face for a winner, man. Congratulations, Wookiee. You did it, man. You won a free .pls domain.
Yep. The
Oh
face
man.
expression, either
Yeah.
surprised or terrified. I don't know.
I don't know. I read that as excited. I don't know about
Yeah,
you. I
here we
think he
go.
I
Here
think
we
he
go.
planned to win. Oh
That's
man. Oh yeah.
awesome.
So Wookie, make sure that you if you can't DM Pulse Domains on Twitter, the Telegram is in there, and I think I put that in the description. If I didn't, I'll make sure that the official Telegram is also in this description. If not, just go to the Twitter that I know is in the description, and then you can find the official Telegram link there.
Mhm.
And Yeah, you can get your free .pls domain. I've been told by Bullish that I have 5 that I'm able to give away, so we're going to save 3 for future live streams. So
Yep.
you guys tune in the future, and probably once in a while I'll be giving one away per stream. So
Mhm.
we got 3 streams that you could potentially win your free PLS domain. And Dante Jr. Wookie won. Sorry, bud. I do like your Pikachu eyes though. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my friend, anything else you want to talk about? I know we've hit the hour mark, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
No,
Um,
I think we covered pretty much a lot of things, and I also know, like, for many community members, this might be a tough time
mhm.
right now with just sideways and red candles and all of that, and super boring. Many people leave, many people drop out. I would say, like, use the time to build, or use the time to enjoy with your friends and your family. And this thing, technology, is not going anywhere,
Yep.
and this is just part of the cycle. Obviously, it's super boring, nothing going on. But then also, there will be a time where there's 1,000 hours of content to consume on a daily basis, and green
Yep.
candles, and one day feels like a week, and so on. So
Hmm.
enjoy the time. This will not last forever, as anything. Bull markets will not last forever, as well as bear markets will not last forever.
Absolutely. I was talking to somebody in the background, and I said in the past couple of days where we had some solid green candles, I'm like, man, I'm drunk off these green candles. My tolerance must be really low.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so used to red, a little bit of green just has me euphoric all of a sudden.
I know, I know, I know. But
Oh man.
for anyone building
Hmm.
or creating and so on, this is the time. This
Yep.
is the time to build, to create, to learn, to ensure or to test out platforms,
Yep.
because this time will not last forever, which is a good thing.
Well, you bring up a great point. I mean, like the bear markets are the time for building, the time, and for a lot of reasons, the I'd say one of the most important is like it builds credibility, right? Like anybody with Control C and Control V on their keyboard can come in during the bull market and throw something together and launch it, right?
Yeah,
But like the people who are building now, putting real effort, like you're doing with all of your stuff, it's social capital that you're building during times when it's not
yeah,
popular to do so. Even for people like me, I'm not a developer. I can throw a pretty sick if then statement on Python, but like that's pretty much like the
yeah,
extent of my coding knowledge.
yeah.
But like me doing educational content on my YouTube, like
Exactly.
it's gonna pay off later when we start to get more activity and more price action.
Yep. And a big thing that I want to mention is Hex. In the early days of Hex, we had so many individuals that were streaming on a daily basis, and doing that, and especially now during especially now during a bear market. Thank you so much to every content creator for still sticking to it, streaming, creating content, being active, because you guys are amplifying and keeping the community together. So thank you so much for all of you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I definitely second that notion for my fellow content creators out there. I would have much less content if I didn't have great, willing people like you to come on and talk on my stream for an hour.
Yeah. Can I shill something here?
Please.
I'm not related to this project at all, but for anyone that is kind of like wants to look at all of the content that is being created on a daily basis, there's a website
Oh
called
yes.
thepulsetube.com. I'm a big fan of them. It's like daily. It's combining all of the live streams, all of the videos and content creators into one platform, which is awesome. And it shows you also, the extent and how big this community is, and how many
Yep.
active people we have. I mean, like right now, we have 4 live streams,
It's crazy, right?
which is
We're still
awesome.
we're still
Yeah,
fighting for audience members in a bear market, man. No,
it's
I can
awesome.
second that. The
Yeah.
Pulse Tube is an incredible site. had several exchanges with the founder,
Yep.
with the developer who runs it. It's a stand-up guy, really wanting to build something cool for the community. And if you ever need, a little extra confidence that we have activity going on over here, the pulsetube.com, you can see all of the streamers. I think Sami uses this to show like, hey, we got 143 people talking about this stuff.
Yep.
So yes,
Yep.
definitely don't have to apologize for this show at all. It's fully endorsed
Yeah.
by the Crypto Sloth channel. So
Yeah.
let's
That's
see, there
cool.
I am. I'm live right now, guys. If you didn't
Yeah,
know.
I think you're on the homepage. Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look
Number
at
one.
that. Oh, we're competing with Wells only and Identity Block. Look at that. Two OGs.
Yep,
Um,
yep, yep. No, it's awesome. And just being visible, all of the content creators are
mhm.
totally different that I'm seeing here with different content, different POVs and so on. But nonetheless, it's good. It's good that they're streaming, it's good that
Yep.
they're taking out the time and talking about this. I remember with Hex, there were many, many days where Hex was just sideways and down and I was just listening to hour-long streams,
Yep.
and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a little bit more. Okay,
Yep.
it's
Gives you
like,
that extra boost to put that next DCA in,
oh,
basically, that next
really,
little bit.
really, 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 definitely, that definitely helped, right? And
Mhm.
I think a lot of the streamers have contributed to price action. So thanks
Yep.
for that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, honestly. And just on the topic of streaming, I heard Twitter X, they're
Oh,
they're
yeah.
gonna have more live streaming support on their spaces. So I think that's gonna be another huge platform for all of us to kind of migrate over to. I know people in the HOA Tengen community, they do live streams a lot, and a lot of like meme coin NFT artists, those type of communities are very active on there. But I speculate that over time, a lot of the live streaming is going to start moving over to Twitter.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really curious about that. It will be really, really cool.
Hmm.
Um, I know I think I saw something that you can also live stream, or there's like one way to live stream games on X.
Yep.
So yeah, and on X we have a lot of crypto folks. That's
Yep.
the best platform for that. So yeah, really excited about it.
I wouldn't be surprised, because Elon is at least somewhat crypto friendly. If we're able to like integrate like Pulse domains into like the live streams, like hey, like you need a PLS domain to enter, or like you need to verify it to be able to participate in the chat or to come up on as a speaker or something like that. I could see all that kind of stuff happening in the future.
Yep. I mean, there are rumors and conversations about them, adopting some sort of crypto and
Hmm.
have it as a payment app and so on. And I think if we have the right protocols allowing you to plug in, domain name services into it, that would be really, really cool. I think in the future you'll be able to use your domain name as an email address,
Yep.
and in the future you could essentially set up your own permissions on how you want to see content, or what algorithms to run within your own wallet, and that wallet dictates pretty much what experience you will have on platform one, be
Hmm.
it X, be it YouTube, be it whatever it is, right? So which kind of like boils down to your identity is your wallet or your domain name that has all of the configurations. So in that, for
Yep.
instance, I don't want to like to see X type of content, but I want to see more educational type of content. And by you logging into various platforms and so on, you essentially bringing in your own custom algorithm to display that content. So yeah, still very, very early days, but yeah, I think there will be a lot of innovation happening in that space.
Absolutely. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about that, but it is lost. It is gone from my mind. So maybe if it comes back, I'll talk about it later. But
Yeah.
Pulse Domains, please tell us, where can we find you, and how can we support you, man?
Yeah, I think for now it's like follow us on Twitter, join our Telegram. We will be making some announcements on launch for Pulse domains once the Fetch Oracle is up. We will also provide some timeline on when we're going to launch. So in this case, everyone is aware that we will be launching, and for everyone to get ready to get their domains set up or essentially built. Or essentially able to mint. In addition to that, We have a lot of educational content in our docs.pulse.domains page. So if you really want to nerd out and see all of the additional services that we created, feel free to check out our docs. We have not done much on the educational front with Pulse domains and what they're able to do and so on. But this will change. We'll essentially, once we launch, we'll create an educational series helping with like how to use them, how to set up sites, how to set up in a more understandable way. We have all of the content on our docs page, but we'll essentially have them a little bit more nicely formatted for X or for Telegram and so on. In addition to that, something that many people don't know, but I had some questions the other day is with Pulse domains, we also have a referral system. So that's kind of like something that we built out in addition, like built out on top of ENS. So for anyone that gets a domain name, you could essentially refer other users and get a fraction of their of the fees directly to you on chain. So yeah, something that we're really excited about, and yeah,
I'm excited about that, guys. Make
yeah,
sure you use my referral link when I get it. Oh my god.
yeah, totally, and it's like it worked for Hex, it works within Web 2 pretty well, and also within Web 3, looking at different protocols, and yeah, so that's why we adopted it. I think it makes a lot of sense. So follow us on pulse.domains on Twitter. Follow us on Pulse coin list, also on Twitter or X. On Pulse coin list, we don't have many followers. We're just like building and making updates to it. But yeah, a follow, a retweet, a like is always highly appreciated. Yeah.
Perfect, man. Well, hey, if there's anything I can do to help you, whether it's on the educational videos front or you need to come on for an announcement, just let me know. I'm happy to help out however I can, however I can be useful. I offer my platform to you whenever you need it. So, I want to help you out however I can. So
Man,
don't hesitate to reach out.
that means a lot. Thank you so much. I'll
Of course.
definitely take you up on that.
Perfect, man. I want to help all of you guys who are building all this stuff as much as I can, however I can. So guys, yeah, all the links like Bullish said are in the description. I threw them in the chat. Go support this man everywhere. Keep an eye out when Fetch Oracle comes out because Pulse.domains will probably be right around the corner as well. I think we're about to get a flurry of protocols launching once the Fetch Oracle officially goes live. So that's going to be an exciting time.
I think so too. Many people are waiting for that, right? I anticipate maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks after Fetch Oracle coming online, a lot of projects will be launching. The reason why you want to wait a couple of weeks is to ensure that the reporter infrastructure is sufficiently decentralized, or hopefully also attacked to a way, and hopefully nothing happened, right? So because I think oracles are really critical, especially for trading protocols or any protocol that does some sort of trading. So we want we want to make sure that protocol is battle tested for a little bit, sufficiently decentralized and ready to go for other builders.
Oh, perfect, man. That's great. I'm really excited for that. And, Liquid Launch team said they're launching in October. So presumably Fetch is also launching this month as well. So
yep, fingers
that's
crossed.
going to be excited to watch. Fingers crossed. And we'll see it when it happens. But until then, I'm excited. So guys, all the links in the description, like I said. You know where to find me. You're on my YouTube channel right now. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead. Hit the like button. It helps out a lot. Sloth Crypto 3 on Twitter for me, and cryptosloth.info if you want to kind of get in touch with me on a more personal basis, more directly through my email list. I just dropped a new article today, a little bit about risk management with NFTs, which I think was relevant to the conversation a little bit we were having today. So definitely go check that out. I'll throw the link to that article here in the chat as well. But Pulse.domains, buddy, thank you so much for coming on, man. I've wanted to have this conversation for a while. We've been having, on that group chat every week, group call every week. I've really appreciated all the insights and activity that you've been bringing to that, and so I've been looking forward to a conversation between us for a while. I'm very happy with how it went.
Same. Thank you so much for chatting, having this opportunity, and also encouraging other streamers to continue producing content and also bringing visibility to all of the projects on Pulsechain. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And as always, it was a really cool chat today. Thank you for that.
Of course, man. Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Okay, everybody. That is it for us. You know where to find us, and we will see you next time. Peace out, guys.
See you guys.